In today's video, I'm going to be debunking a massive lie in the coaching and consulting industry, which is the fact that there are no such thing as qualified leads. There's no such thing as qualified leads. And before you click off this video and tell me I'm wrong, just watch through it all and come up with your own reasoning after. Okay, so here are a couple of reasons as to why, and it's also based from experience, as to why there's no such thing as qualified leads. Okay, the first reason is because you don't know who the prospect is fully until you actually get them on a sales call. So what I mean by this is a lot of these coaches, consultants, and even what I used to do, right? I used to prejudge prospects before they even got on the sales call. I'd prejudge them just by what their profile picture was on Facebook, what their bio said, how many friends they had. I've done this so many times in the past, and I've made the mistake of doing this. I would judge them based off of what I just saw online before the sales call. And then there were also times when I didn't judge them. I was like, okay, I'll offer some one-on-one time. Let's do a little call. They get on the call, and then they turn out, based on the questions I've asked and the responses that they've given back, that they are actually a pretty good prospect and a pretty good fit. Okay, this has happened countless of times, and I wouldn't have figured this out if I had just assumed way before the sales call that they were unqualified. Okay, and I think what you can take away from here is that you are leaving a ton of money on the table. A ton of money on the table. Thousands, potentially thousands on the table, just because you're being too judgmental and just assuming too much. Okay, so action step for this one, I'd take any and every prospect unless it's absolutely common sense that they're not a good fit. Like, for example, if pretty much, and I don't want to sound racist or anything like that, but just from experience, people who are, and if you can tell from their profile as well, if they're from like a third world country and just don't have a business going, don't have a business or an online business, and they're from like an African, Indian, Asian, third world country. And again, I hope I'm not sounding racist in any way, but just from experience, if it's absolutely common sense, then it just 100% looks like they don't have anything going, then maybe you can unqualify them. But then again, some people from the industry who assign people from India, and I remember having a sales call with this guy. He's from India, and he said he didn't have the funds to do so, to invest like in my program, right? And then a couple months later, I see another guy in the industry who managed just to sign him, and he pays in full or does a payment plan. So I wasn't angry at all. And don't get me wrong, I wasn't angry at all. I wasn't mad at the fact, I wasn't jealous. It was just a learning lesson, which just told me that I need to work on my sales. Like, I didn't close them because of something that went wrong in the sales process, okay? And they managed to close them because they did something right in the sales process, okay? So there's no excuses. And another thing, if that happens to you, then that should be a lesson that you shouldn't assume anything. You shouldn't prejudge people long before the sales call, okay? So first reason why there's no such thing as qualified leads is that you don't know if they're qualified or not until you've gotten to the pitch, okay, and stated the price, okay? You have to get them on a sales call. And another thing, just branching off of that, right? I see a mistake that you make as well is you just cancel calls. You judge too much. And why that's really bad for you is because even if they weren't qualified in the first place, okay, first of all, goes back to my point, you don't know if they're qualified or not until they get on the sales call and you start asking questions, because they're in front of you and you can actually get to know them. The second thing is that let's say they were actually in fact unqualified. They didn't have the funds, they were not a good person. Well, you just missed out on an extra repetition of practice, okay? Especially important if you're starting out. I get it if you're busy, if you're making multiple 5 figures, 6 figures a month, and your calendar is absolutely swamped, then okay, fair enough. You might have to cancel some applications and just to free up time on your sales calendar, okay? But if you're starting out and you're only booking like 3 to 10 calls a week, and not more than that, then take every sales call, because the worst that can happen is you get free practice. Okay? So that free practice, let's say you hadn't canceled that might have made you that 1% better, so that for the next sales call you actually close the person, okay? You never know. So that's why I say, and I strongly suggest, that there's no such thing as qualified leads. And yeah, I hope you take some value out of this video. Hope you enjoyed, and I hope you kept an open mind, because next time I want to see you, A, don't cancel any sales calls unless it's absolutely 100% common sense, and B, I don't want you to judge them until they get on the sales call and they start asking questions, okay? I've been surrounded by people, I've seen it time and time again. One of my buddies, he closed a 25K pay in full offer, okay? A 25K pay in full offer. And he thought the person wasn't qualified enough based on his form, based on the messenger conversation, okay? 25K pay in full, that's how much you could be leaving on the table because you're being too judgmental, okay? Get them on a sales call, see what they're saying, try and negotiate something, and then you will actually see if they're truly a good fit or not for your offer, for your service, for your coaching program, okay? That's 25K pay in full, and he thought he wasn't a good fit. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I didn't want to make it too long, and if you do need help generating leads and getting calls booked on your calendar consistently, every single month, organically as well, booking a call down below. It's in the description. Link is in the first comment as well. So yeah, do that if you need help and you're tired of where you're staying at the moment in 2022 with your business. So if you're new to the channel, subscribe, make sure you like, comment on this video what your thoughts are if you disagree, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.